Hey guys, and hello again. Welcome to your post step 3 video. Before we get started and we move to me directly talking to you face to face of sorts through my camera, I wanted to quickly let you know the purpose of this video. It's pretty simple, you guys. We will do a very brief review of steps 1, 2, and 3 of your training so that we can cover the most important topics and concepts you were taught in those first few steps and provide that reminder and refresher of what is important in those steps and why. Then, after the brief review of steps 1, 2, and 3, I will actually spend the most time discussing the one thing that is so ridiculously important that it will literally and completely determine whether you do absolutely nothing with this and never make a penny, or whether you move on and make your first $1 million online at home from your computer or anywhere in the world there's an internet connection. And I will also cover even the more simple but equally important things you truly need to consider just to simply finish the next 3 steps of training. So you guys, before we go to my video, please be absolutely and 100% sure you do watch this entire video. There is homework at the end of this video. And that homework, even though it's very quick, concise, simple, easy, and will take you really no longer than 5 minutes, it's also absolutely required 100%, and it's very important you follow through, get to the very end of this video, and get me what I need so I can open up steps 4, 5, and 6 for you where we can have our live one-on-one, very important strategy session appointment. So you guys, no shortcuts and don't rush through this video. The second half to 2/3 of this video has legitimately crucial training as well as really strong teaching. I stand very strongly behind it and need you to listen intently. If you care in the slightest about succeeding and achieving your dreams and living the financial life you always thought about, imagined, and envisioned, you have to watch this and be ready to embrace a new mindset, a new approach, and otherwise. And I will share that with you shortly. Watch this entire video. Do this right here, right now, in one sitting, while in a quiet place and with a pen and paper in hand for note-taking. Your very future might depend on how well you heed my words. Can I count on you? All right, guys, let's do this. Hey, guys, how you doing? Great to see your smiling faces again. You guys, congratulations. You did an amazing, phenomenal job finishing steps 1, 2, and 3. In fact, you've already gotten farther than most people have. Most people don't have the diligence, commitment, and follow through to complete the steps in training and do exactly what you've done this far. So again, congratulations first and foremost. But secondly, you guys, I want to address something really quick. Sometimes I get asked the question of, hey, Scott, why don't you do this appointment in person? Why am I watching this video? Or why did I watch that video? And it's a great, maybe even valid question. But I have a simple, straightforward answer, you guys. What I'm doing right now, it's called working smart, not working hard. And if you are going to succeed in this industry of internet and affiliate marketing, I would hope that you embrace the same idea, concept, and notion. You need to work smart, not hard. If you have a choice between working a 12 or 14-hour day, or to work 3 hours a day and make the same amount of money, or maybe more money working the shorter day, what are you going to do? Guys, this is the same thing. I'm not stupid. I'm one of the best coaches for a reason. I know how to value my time. And I want you to teach yourself to do the same thing. Instead of believing you're worth minimum wage or $15 an hour or $20 an hour or whatever it is that you're making, I want you to start telling yourself, I value myself, I value my time, and my time is worthy and worth $200 an hour or $500 an hour, $1,000 an hour. This is where you need to get your mind. It's where I'm already at. And that's why I said in one of the earlier videos, sometimes it's good to find people to aspire to be like them. Not necessarily be like them where you think like them and you're a robot in their image, but more along the lines of you're aspiring to be in their position in life. Make sense? It starts right up here between the ears. And with that said, let's get started with our brief review of steps 1, 2, and 3. So, the main focus of step 1 is mindset. And guys, if you think that mindset is mumbo jumbo and you're here just to earn money, I'm sorry to tell you, you have already failed. Guys, mindset is the single most critical component of your journey to success and wealth. You've heard me say it already, the mindset must come before the money. It is the single-handed most important thing to your success, straight up. Now that said, let's cover the proper answers for your assignment real quick, because I'm actually going to spend more time on mindset after I cover the answers to your step 3 assignment. Fair? Now, your first question in step 1, you were asked that question a little less than halfway through the training. Misha explained, without blank, you will not succeed. You'll mess things up and you'll end up self-sabotaging your efforts. So the proper answer here from your multiple choice options was the right internal belief system. So guys, you need the right internal belief system that will carry you to wealth and success. Again, the mindset must come first or the money never will. Without the right practiced and developed internal belief system, you are guaranteed to fail. Now, next, you were asked, what is the single biggest difference between successful and unsuccessful people? And you were asked to explain why. I'm sure that based on the theme of this module, you already know that the difference between successful and unsuccessful people is their mindset and their internal belief systems. It's about that fact your mindset and internal beliefs will either limit you or empower you. The systems in place lead you to being a good little worker and a busy little bee without really ever accomplishing anything. I'll discuss this more in a bit since this is the most important concept in the first few steps of the training, and it's also a subject I happen to be very passionate about. So, answer to that was mindset and internal beliefs, obviously. The last thing you were asked was to be absolutely sure you clicked on your homework tab in Module 1, which is right under the video, of course, in Module 1. And of those 17 wealth files, which 3 of those are you most poor-minded on versus being wealth-minded? And why? And you're supposed to answer that question with 2 to 3 sentences. Now, guys, just be sure you reviewed those wealth files. It's what took me from broke and bankruptcy to dramatically changing my life and achieving wealth. I mean, how seriously you take those wealth files will determine you remaining poor to middle class to becoming overly comfortable, if not, and rich. So there is no right or wrong answers to this, since your answers will vary and dependent upon you and your experiences in life. But me being able to read your answers so that I know your challenges was important. So with that said, let's go ahead and revisit step 2 briefly. So in module 2 of your assignment, the first question was multiple choice. And you were asked, what are the best type of products to sell that levels the playing field and is one of the great equalizers? The answer, of course, is information products. And this is because information products have a low cost of overhead. It's $1 billion industry. It's the easiest to market, to penetrate, and make money off of if you are taught to do it the right way. And think of cookbooks that you've bought in the past. There are people who have become millionaires teaching others how to find girls or lose weight or how to build a chicken coop in your backyard. They are all information products. And even this course you're going through is an information product. And so the next question we asked for module 2 was, when you're selling on the internet, which of these should your initial focus and target be? The proper answer, guys, is targeting someone's emotions. People are 20 or more times more likely to make an emotional buying decision rather than making just a logical one. I mean, do you want a Cadillac Escalade or a BMW or a Mercedes because it's logical or because it's the best product? No. Usually people want these types of things because it appeals to your emotions. It increases your status, and in your mind, it increases others' perception of you. Emotional selling is the number one way to get initial sales, where they buy into the vision and only later do you get them to purchase based off of logic. All the other things that are listed are important, but emotional selling is the difference between business success and failure. So next for module 2, I asked what Misha meant when he said most online purchases are centered around status. And why is that important? Well, almost every buying decision that goes beyond the bare necessities is about status. Otherwise, we would all buy used cars instead of wanting brand new ones. We wouldn't stress about that awesome and expensive new set of shoes or heels or purse or top of the line jet ski if there was no one to show it to or no one to tell about it once we bought it. Social media has increased the desire for status for the entire world, and everyone's trying to keep up with the Joneses. Pursuing status is a great form of emotional selling. Now let's briefly revisit Module 3. Module 3, of course, shifts gears and starts talking about what's so important to embrace when talking about online income. And the first thing was being a business owner or investor. Robert Kiyosaki's book, The Cash Flow Quadrant, says that 95% of the population are either employees or self-employed, yet they only account for 5% of the world's wealth and money. And then the other 5% of the world consists of business owners and investors. But that 5% accounts for a mind-blowing 95% of the world's wealth. It's a no-brainer, guys. You will never become wealthy as an employee or self-employed. You might get comfortable, you might even be middle class, but you'll never become rich. You've got to start a business that makes you enough money where you can eventually start investing. So last for Module 3, I ask, what is usually the best and easiest method for making money online and why? The answer is simple, guys. It's affiliate marketing. With affiliate marketing, you can promote any product in the world that's associated with your passion. You won't have to carry products or inventory, and you have an incredibly low cost of overhead with very low barriers of entry. It's the perfect business model for those of you wanting to change your life and start a business. You just have to be willing to learn how to drive traffic and place ads online, and that's exactly what we will teach you to do right here at Super Affiliate Network. Now, guys, let's go back to mindset again real quick. I have a video that I want to share that's has some cheesy little edits where I do a brief voiceover in a couple of spots, but ignore those couple of moments. Just focus on the content because there is some really strong stuff in here you need to hear. I actually created this a few years ago for a $60 million per year company I was working with at the time. It's short, but it's intended to motivate and challenge you. So don't sell yourself short. Be sure to spend another 10 to 15 minutes and do exactly what is described here in the remaining part of this video. I have some very important additional instructions as well, so watch it all. You'll need to see those instructions so you have steps 4, 5, and 6 opened up. One thing to mention real quick is even though the video says step 3, just ignore that. Obviously, Misha discusses mindset in step 1. This is a little bit older from something that I worked on when the mindset was part or step or module 3 of that particular training. It still applies very directly to you here and today. So just disregard that. It is very pertinent and you need to hear it. So don't let that small detail trip you up. Anyway, this is so important. So guys, let's go back to the camera, okay? You're in this phase, you guys, of being what's called an early adopter. It's an old marketing phrase that talks about people who adopt a technology or a company or anything along those lines very early on in that company or technology's process or existence. And those people who are the early adopters, the ones who adopt that technology or company early on, are the ones who always end up benefiting the most. You have an opportunity to be an early adopter, the face of the organization and a leader within the company. Really, really exciting time, you guys. And I'm thrilled to have you here. But step 3 is, in my mind, the most important step in the training. You guys, I am truly fascinated by mindset. I'm not joking. I am so fascinated by mindset because it is truly the thing that's going to determine your success or failure. And some people, they're at this point and they're looking at me going, gosh, I just don't like that guy. And lucky for me, it's a much smaller portion than it is a bigger portion. But at the same time, you guys, you have to decide which side of this coin you're going to be on. People look at me and they look at my energy and they're thinking, oh my gosh, he just needs to tone it down a notch. Zig Ziglar is one of the most famous motivational speakers of all time. And he once said, for every person that you lose for being too enthusiastic, you will lose 100 for not being enthusiastic enough. And your passion, your vigor, your energy, this is going to help you to change your financial life. And I'm hoping what I'm doing is something that at least a little bit is giving you something to thrive or feed off of. And one of my favorite sayings, and something that I tell all my students, because I don't care where you're starting from. I don't care if you have $5 in your bank account or if you have $50,000 in your bank account. It does not matter, and it is not relevant. Because the thing that is important is remembering the fact that you don't have to be wealthy to become wealth-minded. But you absolutely must first become wealth-minded before you will ever become wealthy. You guys, what you've got going on between the ears is the thing that will determine your success or failure in this industry. Every single day of our lives, we are creating either good habits for ourselves or bad habits for ourselves based on the things we do, the actions we take, and the thoughts that permeate our mind and our brains. And whether you think you can do something or think you can't, you are right either way. And you have to decide if you're happy being relinquished and relegated to being employee-minded, poor-minded, middle-class minded, or are you ready to start challenging yourself and start stepping into the mind of a wealth-minded person and an entrepreneur? Because an entrepreneur is a choice. You make a choice to become an entrepreneur. And you guys, whenever someone says, I can't, it's basically you being poor-minded, employee-minded, or middle-class minded. Because poor people say, I can't. They say, oh, I can't. I don't have the time. I can't. I don't have the money. I can't. My spouse is against this. They think it's a scam. I can't. Fill in the blank with whatever your excuse is. And wealth-minded people, on the other hand, they're completely different. They're solutions-oriented. They eliminate that phrase of I can't from their vocabulary. Instead of saying I can't, they ask themselves, how can I do this? They see something that can benefit themselves, their life, family, situation, circumstances, finances, future, or otherwise. The poor-minded person says, I can't, followed by an excuse. A wealth-minded person goes, how can I do this? Poor-minded people also tend to focus on obstacles. They nitpick. They find the negatives. They look at all the things they don't like. They consider all the possible negatives. And, those nitpickers and negative Nillies and negative Nancys and Willies and whatever you want to call them, they keep doing the same things, getting the same results. They keep poor. They remain poor, or they keep middle class, and they never exceed or surpass their visions or goals. They don't accomplish their goals and their dreams. Wealth-minded people, completely different. It's just the opposite. They are not focused on the obstacle. They are so focused on the opportunity, they don't even care what the obstacles are, because they look at the obstacles as something they basically get to overcome. But the number one problem, you guys, for people who are poor-minded, it's fear. That four-letter word, the F word, fear. You guys, your fears will stop you in your tracks. It will get its dirty little claws into you, and it will not let go. And it will dictate and determine your future and hold you down. And your fears will keep you in this hamster wheel where you keep doing the same things you've always done, getting the same results you've always gotten. And the fears are usually the questions of what if. Oh man, what if I'm not very good at this? What if this doesn't work how they say? What if I end up investing my time in this and end up wasting my time? What if they ask me for some money? What if this? What if that? You guys, the what ifs will keep you in this loop of loserness. And I'm not meaning to call you a loser, by the way. You guys, sometimes it's circumstances, sometimes it's life beating us down, sometimes it's just you don't know what you don't know. So, tongue in cheek, take everything I say with a grain of salt. Sometimes it's just me being silly. With that said, you guys, what's going to change your life, what's truly going to help you to change your finances more dramatically than you ever dreamed possible, is you do what wealth-minded people do. You focus on becoming wealth-minded. And keep in mind what's so funny. Wealth-minded people still get afraid. The only difference is they do it anyway. They act in spite of their fears. And so they have this mindset that they're going to embrace jumping out of airplanes and building their parachutes on the way down. Isn't that a cool imagery? You jump out of an airplane, you build your parachute on the way down. Sometimes we just jump and we figure it out as we go. That's what wealth-minded people and entrepreneurs do. They don't wait for the stars to align. They don't wait for getting all their ducks in a row. They don't wait for things to be perfect, because you guys, things are never perfect. If you wait for things to be perfect to get married, you will remain single the rest of your life. If you wait for things to be perfect to have a child, you will be without child the rest of your life. And if you wait for things to be perfect to start a business, you guys, you're never going to be a business owner. You're never going to be an entrepreneur. And exactly where you are now is where you're going to be 10 years from now, 20 years from now, and beyond. Are you happy with where you're at in your life? Change your mind, change your life. This is not some nonsense that people just feed you hoping you'll buy their self-help book. I don't have a book for you guys to buy. This is knowledge that you have an opportunity to scoff at and laugh at and say, I'm not going to listen to that hooey. That's nonsense garbage that has nothing to do with success, that takes some luck and hard work and effort. Yeah, okay. You got to work hard. Yeah, you got to put in the time. But you also got to get wealth-minded. You don't need to be wealthy to become wealth-minded. But you've got to become wealth-minded before you will ever become wealthy. It's critical, you guys. I want to help you to massive success, but this takes you being willing to get comfortable being uncomfortable. It's time for you to start stretching yourself past your comfort zone. And there are people watching this video right now where you completed steps 1, 2, and 3 a week ago, and you're now just getting around to scheduling this appointment. There are people who they did step 1, and then 3 days later, they did step 2, and 5 days later, they did step 3, and then 3 days later, they finally scheduled this appointment or came to this page, and here they are. Why? Do you not care about bettering yourself? Do you not care about financial freedom, just freedom in general, or blessing and taking care of your friends, your family, your loved ones, your kids, your husband, your wife, significant other? It starts now, here and today with you. And you have to take responsibility for exactly where you are in life today is exactly where you deserve to be. If you want different for your life, you have to do differently than you've done in the past. Do differently than what others are doing in your present situation. Do differently than what others are doing who are trading their time for money and working their 9 to 5s. If you want different, you have to do different. And you guys, if you fell off your horse, so to speak, if you're one of the people who failed where, yeah, you finally got around to doing steps 1, 2, and 3, and here it is 10 days later, and you're finally seeing this and kind of now tucking your tails between your leg, or even feeling a little bit offended because coach is challenging you on this. You guys remember, as a coach, sometimes I will try to send you a video or something that will inspire. Sometimes I'll try to encourage you or motivate you a little bit, but other times as a coach, you have to straight up challenge your students to be their best, do their best, and beyond. And if you're one of those people where you fell off your horse a little bit, The one thing to remember that's a beautiful thing is the past, and we can't control what has already happened. But the one thing we can control is what we do today and what we do tomorrow. So from this point forward, I said my piece. Hopefully it invoked some emotion in you, but now it's time to put it behind you. You can't control what has already happened. We can only control what we do today and what we do tomorrow. It's a new beginning right here, right now. So it's in the past, but from this point forward, you do your best. You commit without excuses. You don't buy into the excuses your brain or your body tries to convince you of. You move forward and you commit. And what's so funny, studies have shown you guys that people are 30% to 40% more likely to accomplish their goal or task if they will simply write that goal or task down. So what you do first, decide and determine exactly what days and what times you will complete steps 4, 5, and 6 over the next 3 days. Remember, you guys, your dreams have to be bigger than your excuses. You are in control of your life, your time, and your calendar. You are the only one who can be in control of your life, time, and calendar. Do not believe that you are a victim to your time, life, and calendar, because if you believe that, you have already failed, and you somehow think that you are too busy to become wealthy or that wealth is not important enough. If that's your mindset, it's not going to happen, not going to work. Next, write it down. Whatever those days and times are to complete steps 4, 5, and 6, you write it down. Today at 7 p.m., I'm going to do step 4 and a motivational call with Misha. Tomorrow at 9 a.m., I'll do step 5 and another motivational call. And then the next day, I will do step 6 or watch a pre-strategy session video with Scott, my coach, or whatever it is. You guys write it down. Very critically important. And then, of course, be sure you add alerts or alarms to your phone or calendar. Whatever is most in tune with you, your life, how you operate, and what you do your phone or your calendar. For me, it's my calendar on my computer. For most people, it's probably their calendar and their alerts and their alarms on their phone. Whatever it is that you have decided and committed to and already written down, as we just discussed, that is what you're going to add as an alert or alarm to your phone, computer, or calendar. Very important, you guys. Don't skip that one. And then, of course, sticky notes around the house. I know the sticky notes thing might sound a little bit cheesy, but you guys, it really, really works. You can decide to write down what your dates and times are. Tomorrow, be absolutely sure to complete step 4 at 9 a.m. like you committed to. Or motivational things. You are committed, and put that on your bathroom mirror. You are diligent. You are proactive. Whatever it is, little motivational things throughout the house or little reminders about commitments that you've made and how you're changing your mindset. You're changing your life. You're becoming a new person. You're having new mindsets. Put at least 10 of these throughout your house so that they can start to feed into your subconscious even as you catch them outside your peripheral vision as you're walking by. And finally, you guys, a daily commitment to wealth-mindedness. You've got to get wealth-minded before you will ever become wealthy. Get the book Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. That is huge, that's important, and that is something I am emphatically encouraging you and asking you to do. Get that book. I will put that on the screen here in a few moments. Let's get back to me talking. It's crazy how our mind works, and we can manipulate our mind when we truly believe that I am not a victim of life. I control my life. I control my time. I control my calendar. You guys, don't be a victim to your mind. Don't be a victim to your life. Believe I control my life, my future, my destiny, and I'm the only person who can dictate and determine where I put my time, attention, and energy. And this is worth it because this will change your financial life beyond anything you dream possible. And I say that with passion and vigor. I want you to have this life and feel what I feel. But I can only do my part if you do yours. So you guys, here's what I want. Commit to finishing steps 4, 5, and 6 in the next 72 hours and less. 72 hours or less, steps 4, 5, and 6. And in fact, I want you on my calendar in 3 days or less for a step 6 appointment and strategy session. The strategy session is what this has been building to from day one. This is what I have been wanting to get you to. That strategy session has been my intent and goal since we started this process from day one. This is the most important point in this process. If you can get on my calendar in 90 minutes from finishing step 6B, do it. You need to be on my calendar for the step 6 strategy session appointment within or under 24 hours from finishing step 6. This could determine your entire future in this industry and whether a year from now you're going to be making $2,500 a month in some podunk job that you're miserable in, or if you're making $2,500 a day living the life of your dreams. All right, you guys, so this is how you're going to get steps 4, 5, and 6 opened up so you can get started on step 4 right away. It's 6 very quick and simple things, and honestly, you guys, this will only take 5 minutes. So I'm going to go through this very quickly. It's very simple and easy. First, the things that you are about to see below, numbers 2 through 6, do all of them by Skype or Facebook message only. Do not email me. Do not leave me a voicemail. Only by Skype or Facebook. Number 2, send me a message letting me know you finished my step 3 video and watched it beginning to end. So very simple. Quick message, Skype or Facebook. Hey, Scott, I finished your step 3 video. I watched it beginning to end. And then you proceed to send me your written plan for completing steps 4, 5, and 6. Tell me the exact days and times you will do each step. Number 4, tell me if you added an alert or alarm to a phone or calendar. You should have. And if you didn't, please explain why. And 5th, let me know you will buy the book or go to the library and borrow it. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker, and that you will commit to reading 30 minutes a day. So get that done in the next 48 hours. That is the book that single-handedly changed my mindset more than any other, getting me into a place of wealth-mindedness, leaving poor-mindedness, middle-class-mindedness, and employee-mindedness behind. And lastly, you guys, number 6, do this right now. Seriously, it's going to take you 5 minutes. If you don't, you have already failed. Go to Skype or Facebook right this minute. Let me know you finished this, you guys, because if you send this to me at 8 p.m. at night, you're not going to have steps 4, 5, or 6 opened up, most likely, until tomorrow morning. The sooner you get this to me and let me know you finished step 3 and send me the other things I ask and need, the sooner I can open up steps 4, 5, and 6, and you can commit to completing this process. So you guys, the entire purpose of all of this is to get us to our live one-on-one strategy session appointment. The strategy session is by far the most important point in the process. This is what I've been wanting to get you to and get you through since you started this in the first place. So commit, follow your plan, and let's plan on having our live one-on-one appointment, the strategy session, in 72 hours or less. I look forward to it, and we will be talking soon. Thanks so much, guys.